until we join.
Yay!
Okay. Oh, that's odd.
Hi guys, here we are, almost ready to go. Hey, so welcome everybody here to Prairie Wear Circle Chat. We're just getting Natasha on. She is here. Welcome, welcome. If you haven't met us here at Prairie Wear, we make sustainable, versatile, awesome compression bras. And today we have Natasha and LaJean joining us. Welcome, welcome. And I think Natasha is just jumping on. So we'll give it just a moment, guys, and then we'll go live. Yay!
Hey. Hello, hello.
Cool.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. So again, thank you so much for joining us on Prairie Circle Chat. Guys, we're going to go ahead and just jump right in because we can. And most of our viewers tend to watch after. So we're going to just go ahead and jump in. So we'll start with some brief introductions. And I think we just have, there you go, LaJean. You got it. I just want to give you a second. So we'll just start with introductions and just kind of bring ourselves into this Prairie Circle Chat. I think joining in the afternoon, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like you go 100 miles an hour and then stop for a moment to do this circle chat. So it's like, you know, you kind of need to take a breath and reset and go, okay, here we are. and let's go ahead and start. So let's start with introductions, and I'll do a really brief one of myself. I'm Holly Markwald. I'm the CEO founder here at Prairie Wear, and we make versatile, sustainable compression bras, and we really love what we do. And today we have Natasha and LaJean with us, and if you could take a moment to introduce yourselves. Natasha, could you start?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Natasha Iwa. I am breast cancer survivor, psychotherapist. I'm in my office right now as we speak. I always struggle with this part, talking about myself. I really like coffee. Ever since my bilateral mastectomy, I rarely wear bras. And I guess I'll stop there for now.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. And for those of you who didn't catch our Prairie Circle Chats previously, Natasha did join us on, I think, one of our most heartfelt Prairie Circle Chats that we've had thus far. And I want to share with you, we've had so much feedback, Natasha, of people that we touched with that particular chat, including one of my dear friends that I didn't realize she was feeling so alone going through treatment during COVID. And so Dr. Kavita Jackson sharing her story there, and you also kind of legitimizing that feeling was really powerful for her. So I just wanted to share that with you. It was,
thanks for sharing that.
Had a chance to tell you that in person. So it was really a powerful thing, and that touched my heart because it was in my circle. And that's what these chats are all about, is teaching, really reaching people in their circles and providing education and support. LaJean, do we still have you? I think she's having some connectivity. She's
Issues.
deep in the heart of Montana mountains.
Oh,
So, so there she is. LaJean,
okay.
would you like to introduce yourself today? Oh, can we hear you? LaJean, can you hear us? Oh gosh.
Or maybe
Well,
not.
I'll introduce LaJean and hopefully she can join us here in a second. So Dr. LaJean Lawson is kind of a leading breast movement guru. She has been with Prairie Wear since our inception in terms of design and really teaching us about body mechanics and how breasts move and how all kinds of different bodies move and tissues within a bra and all of those amazing things. So she's been with us as one of our consultants and team members for a very long time, but she's also very well known in the industry. So great. LaJean, can you hear us yet? Oh gosh.
She might. I'm wondering if she like completely logs out and then comes back in.
I think
Maybe.
so too. Let's maybe try that. And we do have Paula and Lauren in the back end, guys. So if you have any questions, I should quit saying back end, running the Insta for us. So if you have any questions, any comments, definitely put them into chat. And they are there to field those questions. So we'll give LaJean just a minute.
Yeah. There.
Yay, there she is. Hey, LaJean, can you hear us? You, I think maybe I heard her. LaJean, can you hear us? Oh goodness. Darn it. Well, we're gonna roll and hopefully she can join us. And we're seeing different angles of LaJean here.
I'm wondering if it's has anything to do with the Zoom, because I've noticed, LaJean, when you are not visible on the live, I can see you on the Zoom, and when you're visible on the Zoom, we can't see you here.
So maybe close out Zoom.
Yeah, just
yeah.
It's
so guys, some back office stuff. We always join on Zoom first so we can see each other before we jump onto chat, and we're just walking through those little pieces and make sure we can all come together. And LaJean. So I was sharing just before this, for those of you stepping in the moment here, our topic today is finding the right bra for you, the right compression bra, and we have two really great people to do that with today. I had a personal experience today as I was out walking and just before this, and totally going through menopause. I had a hot flash. I'm out walking. There's sunshine. I knew I could come in here. And so I have to say, I obviously wear huggers every day personally. And one of the things that I realized is just the moisture wicking is a really big deal for me. And that's something I'm looking for in a bra at this stage in my life because it makes such a difference. And so I was able to go for a walk and then just literally drop right into this and not have to take my bra off, and that works for me and my lifestyle. So I do love that.
I just wore my hugger bra on my tan one, I think on Saturday or Sunday. And one of the things that I love most about, and I think it's the Hugger Vita, I believe, is it feels like I can tell I'm wearing a bra, but it doesn't feel like a bra.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense at all. It's just it's comfortable, not restricting, but still is doing its job.
That's definitely the idea. And what I love is we're not the only bra out there. We're not here to just talk about huggers. We're always here to talk about what works for your body, how to get educated. That's why LaJean is here. Hopefully she can join us, but we'll just roll with it if she's not able to. So one of the things that we talk about is what's the importance of finding a bra that fits. And everybody is so different. And we're also at different stages in our life. And I think for our journey with a lot of who we work with in our community, you know, sometimes it's a medical journey and a medical journey into recovery and then recovery into activity. And so we are really looking for something that works for people over a long period of time, because bras are an investment, you
Oh
know.
yeah. And
A
that's not
good bra.
something I learned until much later. When I was younger, I just kind of thought bras were, you could just get them from anywhere
Yeah.
as long as you're wearing one. But it's definitely an investment.
Hmm. And I think learning what is important. So how do straps fit on your body?
Mhm.
How's the adjustment in the band? What are you looking for comfort and support? Or maybe not as much comfort, but you're looking for a high impact
Mhm.
activity bra or something like that. I think that is the piece that we hear most often is, can can your bra do this, or does your bra do this, or those kind of things. And while we're waiting for LaJean hopefully to join us, I think we'll jump into the question that I think is most suitable really for where you're at and what you can offer our people here today in our Prairie Circle. Natasha, is what do you feel a bra that feels good on your body kind of does for recovery? So for your personal also well-being.
Hmm. Yeah, so recovery is also different, right, from person to person. So
Yeah.
for some individuals, I think we know kind of what the basics of recovery looks like. And then for some individuals, there may be skin changes, even skin texture changes. And so one of the things, sorry, I thought that's my ring going off. One of the things that was really important to my recovery was not feeling restricted
Hmm.
while still feeling protected. So when I had my drains in, bras that the bra or the type of bra that I needed, it needed to help me feel like I was wearing a bra, but I didn't want to feel like I couldn't
Yes.
move. I didn't want to feel constricted. I didn't want to feel like things obviously like were poking, into my sides and things like that. So the material needed to be, and I don't know if it's a bit of an oxymoron, but it needed to be soft yet strong,
Yes.
soft to the touch and flexible,
Hmm.
uh, but not restrictive.
Hmm.
And that really
And
helped.
yeah. And one of the things we hear quite often, regardless of where people are at in their journey, even for myself going through menopause, skin sensitivity, whether that's radiation or menopause or breastfeeding, or just someone who does high impact activity and they have large cup size and there's chafing. I think that was something I hadn't even been aware of until I started to learn more about bras and understood you can feel comfortable and supported in a bra, and it doesn't have to do those
Right,
things, you know,
for sure.
but you don't know how to ask the question. And I know for us, it's like, how do we find something that's safe for the skin, regardless of the body and where it's at? And so for us, what we found is Okotex 100 certification. And for those of you that don't know, it just means it's safe for the skin
Okay.
and sustainable. So that was really important to us. And we really try to educate people, understand what's in your bra because it's right next to your skin.
Right.
And then the other thing,
Yeah.
yeah. And one of the things you mentioned is feeling secure. And whether we recognize it or not, that security often comes from compression because that bra isn't slipping around.
Right.
Does that make sense? So it's
Right.
actually
Right.
staying conformed to the body, and it becomes kind of like a second skin as opposed to something that might be slipping around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes straps. So I think how many times you're like walking and halfway through the day your bra starts to get a little looser?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you ever felt that?
Oh, I had plenty of those, especially my college my college days. None of my bras ever stayed on or lasted.
Yeah.
Or kind of the idea. I like how you said that the cup, it molds to the person's breasts, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I know I had in the past, I had a history of purchasing bras where it my boobs would fall out,
Yes.
right? Um, Sometimes I'd notice, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I thought that's how it was supposed to be. Other times it was like, what's going on?
Mhm.
So that's something that I learned actually after my mastectomy, was that, oh, there is a way for a bra to fit where I don't feel restricted, but my breasts aren't falling out either.
Yes. Yeah. And I think in terms of, you know, how does someone know when a bra fits right? We get this question a lot. And I always say, does it actually feel good on your body? You know, and that's a question we don't ask a lot as
Yeah.
women. It's interesting. We kind of put up with something that's uncomfortable. I'm going to say maybe shoes, or other things where we're
Shoes is a good
thinking,
one.
yeah, where we think, you know, it has to be uncomfortable to be correct or something like that. And especially with bras, I don't think that we've really learned that we can ask for more and ask for comfort and support. And so that's another thing with our Prairie Circle chats, is just empowering people to ask the questions regardless of what the subject matter is. So for this one, and LaJean was really here to talk about most of this. This is her,
She's still trying to figure it out.
this is her life's work, you guys. She has spent her entire life, look scientific data on bras and breast movement. And I'll share this with you, Natasha. We did so much research with LaJean on treadmills, watching breast tissue move, whether it's reconstructed, unilateral, bilateral with or without reconstruction. We did body movement and watching how breast tissue moves, and also implants move differently, like with the body.
Yes.
And so, and a lot of breast tissue moves in a circular motion. And so I learned so much about how breasts move on the body. And again, even without reconstruction, how the body moves, and also how the body feels, particularly with scar tissue, with, you know, all of these things that we're looking into, of how do we create something that feels good on the body where you're at. And we're not the only ones. There's a lot of great bras out there. I want to say, guys, you know, find one that works for you. I think it's awesome. And ask those questions. And really, you know, if you have deep impressions from an underwire after the end of the day, that's probably restricting your circulation.
For sure.
You know,
that does not feel good at all. And even worse after mastectomy. And those who have had some sort of mastectomy, some individuals, their scars, right, are kind of across the breast, or, you know, they're vertical or horizontal. My openings are horizontal from the nipple out, but then mine are underneath, so right where the wire would be. And I learned very quickly not to wear any bra any longer that had any kind of wire. And I recall going through my bra drawer, and I had like 18 bras that all had wires, and I did away with them, because it was so uncomfortable to have anything in that area that wasn't soft to the touch. And essentially, when I had it on, forget that that scar was there. And so that's also something that made a difference. Can I find a bra, or am I wearing a bra that makes me forget that those scars are there, versus aggravate them and remind me that they're there?
Right. Yeah. And I don't know if everyone knows this about Prairie Wear, but our models on our website are friends and family. So there are people in our circle. Yeah. So if you look at somebody on our website, we know them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of our models, friends, Zionda, she has a fairly large cup size, and her shoulder. Ooh.
I can't hear. I'm not getting anything from Holly.
We can hear you. Yay. But she has large cup size, and just the ridges in her shoulders from straps that aren't padded, or that, you know, so many bras, we don't understand how anchor points work. And with a cut and sew bra, which are kind of where you see the most of bras now, the anchor point is often in the band. So, you know, when you have a really tight band, that's providing structure and support. And so that puts a lot of pressure here. on your straps. I hope I'm not saying that incorrectly, LaJean. She can fact check me, but basically what we learned is we want to take those anchor points and switch them around so it releases pressure from the neck as opposed to increases it. So you may have noticed, Natasha, for example, when you're out, that your straps don't slip if it's a hugger. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Also,
so interesting.
yeah, and you shouldn't feel pressure on your neck. It should feel,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Never thought about that until you said it. And as you were talking, I was just, I made that face because I'm thinking back to my skin is fairly sensitive. And what you just described with the pressure, the bras that I would wear prior to cancer, it also used the pressure would actually change, discolor. So there would be so much pressure that that area would turn dark when by the time I would take off my bra. And if I didn't notice it right away, it would just get, deeper and deeper. And I would have those impressions in that area. So you just kind of highlighted that for me.
Yeah. Something we don't think about, right? And it's really interesting, again, with LaJean really educating us on how those different anchor points work, and then using with our amazing technical design team. Marcia, this is a shout out to you. Learning about how to use different knits basically in compression zones to be those different anchor points and also give compression where you need it and where you don't. And again, guys, we're not the only bra out there. There's lots of great bras. And so what we're really trying to do is educate folks to find something that really works well on their body and be aware. So I think another thing that, what are some of the issues and limitations people kind of run in trying to find a bra that works for them? Sizing. I would say that's number one. And it can be really, sometimes we don't know this, but I think LaJean said, we can fact check it from chat too, but
She
over,
said,
are you there, LaJean? Yeah, I'm so glad.
Yay!
I was saying stuff that I said LaJean's gonna have to fact check me, but I think it's pretty good because we've been doing this a while. But I was just gonna go into what are some of the issues and limitations that people run into when trying to find a bra. And to me, one of the ones that we hear the most is sizing. What will fit me? And for us, we have a unique challenge too, where often our hugger wearers don't know what size they may or may not be. After treatment, whether that's radiation, breast tissue can change and move 2 to 3 years post radiation, surgeries. And so take it away, LaJean, now that you're here. Hey. Yeah, so I think sizing is a big one for us, and that's why we've worked so hard to find a very simplified way for someone to get their size. But for you, LaJean, you've seen just about every size chart in the industry and has sent me a gazillion of them.
There's two things. Each of us is so unique in our size and shape. I'm a 36B. My actual dimensions, how my breasts are located, what angle, high, low, is very different. So it's a very complicated topology in the front. So that is one challenge, and it's just not economically feasible to have a custom bra made for each of us. So then we began to say, how can we design a bra and the materials that we use, leverage the details of the knit, the appendix, whatever, to build bras that can, each single size SKU can accommodate a lot of different individual variation. Traditional bras might have, and I have this little lacy model, it's always fun to talk about, might have a waistband, cups, straps, maybe some adjustability here and there. That's one approach. And that is actually very confusing because I'm a 36B. What does that mean? We call that a 36 band size, but the actual waistband of the bra and the measurement that is not your actual band size in a bra. And so in the intimates industry, it's like, okay, if you're 36B, we make the band to be about 31, and we make a certain fullness here. How do we get around all of the complexity? In all of my years, I found that what I advise Prairie Wear with, and I advise all women, the one single measurement that really reflects your chest size is the measuring tape coming around the back and up over the top of your breast. It's, you know, there's obviously some exceptions, but that's about as reliable for a single measurement that takes into consideration the size of your rib cage, the fullness of your breast. Now, get the fit, and what I've loved so much about Prairie Wear from day one, you design a bra, and the materials that you use, yarns that you use, the knit pattern you use, percentage of spandex, and thank the Lord for spandex, allows us to design and build a bra that will accommodate variations in size, variations in fullness, variations in location of the breast on the body. Very democratic bra. It doesn't require to make a million different sizes because the intelligence is there in the design, in the material. Get a lot of different bodies. One of the things that's so cool about a Prairie Wear bra, knit, and the span, one of the characteristics of knits is they're stretchy, but the more you stretch them, the more firm they get. So that means smaller breasts that don't require so much support, the bra is not going to probably fit so tight, but it doesn't need to because there's not the breast mass moving. Larger breast volumes go into the bra. They stretch out the material to where it's more rigid and gives more support. So again, spandex was just such a miraculous invention because of these kinds of fabric structures that just naturally adapt to variation.
It does, and I think all of us have seen, you mentioned the 31 plus 5 minus 7, 10, and all fit charts are different. Or I'm sure we've all had the experience where you go in to get, you know, fitted for a bra at a lingerie company for something fancy, and it's not the same size as what you normally wear, but you think, okay, this is what it is for this bra, and you get it home and it fits okay, but maybe not fantastic. And I think what we can ask a little bit more of our bras is that it does fit awesome. So you know better than someone else. Yeah.
And Holly, say that you go and get measured at the fancy shop, you might be premenstrual, you might have a temporary weight gain, whatever. And so there's a lot of shifting in size. So I say, why not just have a bra that kind of adjusts to our bodies, because we, you know, things rise and fall on the scales and with water weight, or, you know, premenstrual, whatever. So for bras that say, hey, your body is dynamic, and through the use of materials and design, we're going to fit you every day of the month. And, you know, after the holidays, when, you know, I had too much turkey, whatever, it's going to fit. And that is a very, I think, a welcoming, realistic saying, what do women really need in their bras through their life?
That's a great point. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to share that when you, LaJean, when you had stated that when it stretches, it becomes more firm, I can definitely attest to that because since the bilateral mastectomy, of course, you know, breasts, naturally our breasts aren't equal, but even more so right after a mastectomy. And then after having my son, I actually developed a stage 4 capsular contractor on the left side. So my left breast is hard as a rock. It doesn't move. It has absolutely no wiggle to it. And it like almost doubled in size compared to the right size. So when I wear my hugger bra, you can't, I mean, aesthetically looking at it, obviously you can see that one breast size is much larger than the other, but it doesn't, one breast is not falling out while the other one is like constricted. So the hugger bra, it absolutely conforms to each of them. They're very different, whereas other bras will do that, right? Other bras are either going to fit the breast that has a capsular contractor and not the other, or vice versa. And the Hugger bra conforms to both of my sizes.
You know, I think another point too, there was a really terrible book written a few years ago, theory that here and that we have more breast cancer in civilized societies because we wear bras, and all fallacious. You know, no controls for diet, stress level, anything else. I personally am a big fan of compression, not just because it holds, it, you know, decreases the movement that can make it too uncomfortable to exercise, but you know, when we want to enhance blood flow, like on an airplane or whatever, we put on compression socks if we work a long hospital, like my daughter does. She wears compression socks, especially, I mean, there's lymphedema issues, but in general, compression is pretty much a positive around the body. And so you know, I'm a pretty big fan, both from the point of view of compressive bras can support, they can fit the idea of body, and I think enhance our health. And also, the majority of women, if they didn't wear a bra, would exercise. There's many breast cancer, we still don't understand all of the risk factors. We know a few. Most of the risk is still unexplained, but we do know that if we exercise regularly, it's the #1 thing that we can do to bring down our risk, not only of breast cancer, but all cancers, heart disease, everything else. And we need to control that breast motion. So, you know, sports bras end up, and any kind of a good supportive bra ends up being I think, one of the most health enhancing things you can put on your body, because it lets you get out there, work hard, enjoy all physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual benefits of exercise and being active.
And in my own personal circle, one of my walking buddies out here where I live is 89 years old, and she wears a Hugger. And what she loves is, at 89, breast tissue is very different. And so, you know, it's really nice to have breast tissue up here while you're walking, but most importantly, it's more comfortable for her. And she walks every single day. And she is a very sprite and lively 89 years old. And I think that's part of it. And she feels more confident wearing her Hugger when she's out, but also even at home, you know, and that's really joyful for me. And at 89, sometimes the hands don't work as well in the morning, and she can still get her Hugger on, you know, and that to me is really important too. And these are all things that, you know, viscerally and tangibly touch our lives every day. Is how do we feel in our bodies, and how do we feel in exercise? And bras are a real thing for us, you know, they really are. And a good bra is transformative.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know we're already at our half hour. It goes so fast. But LaJean, I feel like you just had a chance to join us. And if you have a moment, Natasha, I'd like to just ask one more question, because I think one of the things I want to cover off too, where compression socks and compression wear for the body, traditionally very awesome. Another question we get is the difference of compression level, what's good for the body, what's not. And I feel like that threshold is different for everyone. But LaJean, you have some information in terms of circulation and restriction.
Yeah, I think in general, in a bra, you're not going to experience restriction that is going to restrict blood flow in a way that would be harmful in any sense. I think generally having the stretch recovery of compression sock tends to help lymph move, tends to help blood flow move. So I think that if just from a tactile point of view, from a perceptual point of view, if the bra is comfortable, you're not going to harm yourself in that way. And I just think in generally it's more enhancing. be almost like a little massage going on. I know when I have sore spots, whatever, there's nothing better than having a massage and having a bra that's not so tight that it feels comfortable, but just feels like it's holding me, it's moving with me. To me, I think that's a real positive. Certainly post-surgery, where we need to control the problem of lymphedema developing, super important. And that's what I love about the the Prima and the hook here, based on your arm, how everything is situated, how high under your arm. You need to have that compression. You can adjust with a set of hooks so that you get the coverage and the compression that you need.
And so to kind of translate that into any bra world, it kind of still always circles back to the same place for me, is if it feels good on your body, that's the right bra for you. And I think it's really important to just put that question out there. What are you looking for? What can you find? You can find amazing companies, good humans, you know, making beautiful bras, and there's so many great options out there. For us, it's about versatility, good investment, durability. I don't believe in hand washing because who has the time? So our our huggers are all machine wash.
Yeah. I do want to make one more point, and that does have to do with fabric and what's next to your body. I know there has been some concern with sports bras, with polyester, recycled polyester. These kind of harmful things that emit from the fabric, sweating and hot. This is next to your breasts. One of the things I feel so good about the Prairie Wear brand is the use of materials, the nylon, the Okotex certification, so you can feel. We don't know yet if this is really a problem or not a problem, but I kind of like to have my mind rest easy with something like that, and know that your dedication and your whole team's dedication to having bras that women can feel really comfortable, are healthy, and
that's
safe.
A good tip for everyone to look for in terms of safe for the skin. So there's different certifications here in the US. We use one that's kind of more international, so it works in Europe, but also the US and internationally. But there's lots of certifications that you can check out for skin safe. Make sure that the products being used are safe for your skin, and also safe for our beautiful planet here that we love so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do want to add that the power of being active and exercise is much more powerful than the risk of having something from your bra next to your skin. So if you have to make a choice, pick the best bra you can find, wear it, work out it. That's going to be your strongest suit when it comes to staying healthy.
Thank you, LaJean. Thank you for that. And guys, I don't want to keep everyone over too long, and thank you so much for joining us today. So for those of you that were able to join us online, thank you so much for coming together. Today we're talking about bras and fit, and how do you find the right one, and we sort of went off on a few different topics, but as we often do. So please let us know if we can provide any additional information. We have Natasha and LaJean with us today. They are tagged in this post if you have any questions for them. And thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time. Yeah.
Holly, can we put on a Prairie Wear Live at some point? That would be really fun.
Yeah, we will for sure. And guys, if you haven't seen Natasha's post with her plants in Illuma, it's a team favorite. We are plant lovers, and so it was like, yes, I'm gonna do that with my plants in my Illuma. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, guys. See you next time.